I'm excited tonight for Passion Talk. We've got the Firestarter here, and this is the first Passion Talk of 2021. So I'm excited to hear what she has to drop. Y'all know she's gonna drop something real good. So introducing to some and presenting to others, Ms Cicely Victoria of Passion International, going to bring us tonight's Passion Talk called May I See Your ID, please.
Listen, I got my thing. Hold on. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Because this is my first New Year's greeting for the scoop, okay? So I had to have my little, I don't even know what you call this thing. What's up, Candace, girl? I don't even know you, girl, but one love to you, queen.
How y'all don't know each other? Y'all go to the same church. Y'all do that, right?
We've got thousands of members. Hello, it's called thousands of members.
Y'all go to the whole same church. I just want y'all to
know. I don't know half the people in NY. You know that.
You act like we got 50 members. Come on now.
Which location? Not
which location?
The same location.
So if we go to the same church, then I'll greet you, my NY sister, as well. Yes, but like she said, you can be there for 5 years and not meet half of the people.
Nah, no half.
Well, now y'all know each other. Amen.
Hey, sis, and the lipstick. I need the link to that lipstick when you're done with this.
Okay, no worries. Listen, Scoop Nation, y'all have to excuse our dust, okay? As my apostle would love to say. Excuse our dust. While we, because this is my first time in the new year, we got to catch up. My QEQ is not on. But hello to Scoop Nation. What up, my squad? Winnie Win, Candy Can, that's your name now, Candy Cane, and Kelly Kells, and love to my QEQ wherever you are. This is your girl, Cicely Victoria, owner and founder of Passion International. My business tree is to help train and equip people to find their voice of identity so you can stop people pleasing and be empowered, encourage confidence and communication. I'm a certified professional coach, a counselor as well. I am the queen of empowerment, and I set people's lives on fire for a living, and that's why they call me the Firestarter. Welcome to Passion Talk, where we give you practical tools for everyday living so you can press into your personal power. Listen, did y'all miss me? I missed y'all. Okay, y'all have a good break. Y'all ended 2020 good? Good. So let's wrap up for 2021. Shall we please? Give me a little drink. So I can school y'all. Y'all got your pens and your papers ready? May I see your ID, please? We are going into this to kick off our year. Listen. Identification, please, okay? Identify yourself. Who are you? Who are you? It's a question that I especially want you to ask yourself without rattling off the titles or positions that you occupy, because honestly, anyone can be taught a skill. But a skill is what you do. It is not who you are. I want to know, who are you without any of the positions and titles or hats that are taken on and off, knowing that you will continue to be that when they come and go? Who are you? What is the universal embodiment of who you are? Are you love? Are you passion? Are you hate? Are you empathy? And after you've determined that for yourself, I want you to take the question out on a field test to those who are up close and personal in your life. Because it's not enough for you to know only who you are, but you need to know who the people are that frequent your life and why are they there. Such as, what is their purpose for being there? Listen, I don't know about you, but I'm of an age in my life and been here quite for some time, as a matter of fact, where I'm no longer interested in casual acquaintances or casual connects. Like, I'm a very purpose-oriented type of woman. I'm a very purpose-driven type of woman, and I live and breathe purpose, and I need to know that I'm in purpose, on purpose at all times, especially when it comes to my relationships. So you need to know, why are the people there that are in your life? What purpose do they serve? And certainly, I hope it's not just to take up space, okay? Because your life should be bigger than that. So I give you this. These are things that I use in my own life that I extend to you. And I hope that it will help you to determine if you are in the unfortunate practice of just letting people traffic in and out of your life. I want to propose another approach for you. I believe that you should know within a 2 or 3 week period. If a person is brand new to you, you should know why they're there within 2 or 3 weeks. It should not take long if you do proper assessment. Okay, you ask the right questions, you pay attention to patterns. You should know. Are they there, on an intimate level, friendship level, business level, so on and so forth? You should know. And then also for those jokers, I would call them, that may have been hanging around, for a while, maybe not doing much. Historical people, I like to call them. You need to reassess their seasons and their reasons for those you have history with. Listen, people know, again, by this point in my life, you're not just going to necessarily be hanging around or think that you can stay, in my speed dial simply because you have history with me, simply because you've been around a while. Nope, no, nope, nope, nope. That's not good enough anymore, and it should not be for you. So I ask you, please, in 20 and 21, let's stop inviting people to come and stay, hang around, and just occupy your space and time because they're forced their way in, or you've extended a haphazard or impulsive invitation. Now, I insert compassion here because I understand that 2020 invited many critters that you have not normally tolerated, probably due to loneliness and some boredom. But guess what? It's cleanup time. It's cleanup time, baby, okay? And if you don't do this, you will be prone to the tendencies of the clientele I work most closely with, and those are known as people pleasers. Let me tell you a little about people pleasers. Those people are most challenged in their identity because they wait for others to tell them who they are or who they are supposed to be. And let me let you know, as a former people pleaser, that is no life at all. It's an exhausting life, and it's a reactive life and not a preventative life. And FireStarter is not here for those foolish fires. So I want to talk through this a little bit and tell you what that means. I'm going to be asking you a lot of reflective questions tonight so that you can assess yourself and the people closest to you, okay? I want you to assess yourself with these questions, and I want you to assess the people closest to you with these questions. And make sure that you take note and do the work after the show, okay? So let's go for it. I'm a big wordsmith, right? And I'm into words and I'm into definitions. That'll bless your life right there, okay? If you're not in the habit of defining things and defining, the purpose of things in your life, then I want you to embrace that skill a bit more. Learn how to define something, what it is, what it isn't, okay? Let's start with identity. Let's get your notepads ready, okay? Identity is the state or fact of remaining the same as under varying aspects or conditions. Pay attention. It is the condition of being oneself and not another. Identity. It is the state or fact of being the same one as described. Ooh, wow. Can I read that last one again? That's good. It is the state or fact of being the same one as described. Are you who you are based on what your profile said about you? Are you the same person that you look like on this resume? Are you the same one as described? Or should I look for another? Is it a pseudo? May I ask you a question? How synchronized are you in various settings? How synchronized, syncopated, working in harmony, in tandem, are you in various settings? Are you a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Or do people pretty much know what and who to expect you to show up as the same person? Who and what you expect you to show up as the same person you always are, because you're comfortable in your own skin and you don't code switch for people. Anybody know a code switcher? Now listen to me. Granted, I'm not talking about formal versus informal. There are times and places for that. Who you are around professionals may not be who you are around your best friend. No, no, no. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about, though, for whatever reason, people who change into what they think people want them to be for their comfort because they haven't fully accepted their uniqueness and distinction yet. Talking about those people. Let's talk about defined. Define. We're talking about ID, right? May I see your ID, please? So these are the identifications that we're talking about. Identity is about definition. Are you defined? Come on, are you refined? Huh? That's a little different, okay? Another time for another day. Defined means determined, fixed, or clearly marked out to extent, outline, or form, to state or to set forth the meaning of, to explain or identify the nature or essential qualities of, to describe, to fix or to lay down clearly and definitely. Listen to this here. To specify distinctly, to determine or fix the boundaries, woohoo, or extent of, and to make clear the form of. I'm going to read that boundaries one again. To determine or fix the boundaries or extent of. To make clear the form of. Let me ask you another question. What is your essence or your nature? Now we're getting closer to identity. Removing the titles, removing the positions. What's your essence? What do you carry? How do people feel when you walk into a room? What do you bring? What kind of energy, right? Like the common word is vibe. Do people get from you? That's getting closer to your identity. What is essential for you? In other words, essence is your essentials. What is that for you? Are you bold? Are you timid? Are you fiery? Are you daring? Are you shy? Are you fearful? Are you committed? What is it? I dare you to ask someone in a chat right now as I speak. If you think you know someone that they know you well enough to give an answer for that, I want you to ask them, what's the essence that I carry? What do you foresee as my essence or my nature? And then I want you to first consider, can you answer that question for yourself? So I want you to make a list for yourself. It could be more than one thing, but you should mainly see similarities of what you list. And if the list be full of unfruitful things, as I would like to call them, then you have work to do. So make this year your year to erase the negativity from your list, okay? Let's go on. Let's talk about boundaries now. We've talked about it before. We're going to talk about it again. And I'm going to keep on talking about it until we get some established ones. That help to preserve our lives and our relationships and help us to navigate and manage well. Are your boundaries clear? That's the question. Are your boundaries clear? Do you know what a boundary is, first and foremost? Have you communicated your boundaries? What is a boundary, Firestarter? Thanks for asking. I'm going to tell you. For life purposes, boundary, of course, has varied definitions, but for life purposes, I call it an invisible line that indicates your limits for yourself and others. Real simple. If you have not established boundaries in your life, and if you have not communicated them to others, I can guarantee you that you are not a defined individual. No, you are not. You're not identified. People don't know who they're getting, and you're likely experiencing a lot more foolishness in your life than necessary, and it's nobody's fault but yours. I love you. But it's all right. I'm here to help, and we're going to do better. Okay, let's talk about consistency. These are all related to ID, identification, identifying yourself, your identity, all of these things. And they're kind of in hierarchy order. After you do these things, you have looked at your boundaries, you define yourself, your identity, then you have to be consistent. Consistency is steadfast adherence to the same principles, course, form, etc. Agreement, harmony, compatibility, uniformity among the parts of a complex thing. consistency. Let me ask you next question. How steadfast are you? How steadfast are you? Now, if I started, that's a deep word. I only heard in church. Okay, so break it down for me. Okay, I will. Steadfast means firm in purpose, resolution, faith, unwavering, fixed in a direction. So let me ask you, are you sand or are you rock? We're talking about steadfast. We're talking about consistency. Do you buckle at the slightest inconvenience or an unpreferred state? Are you quick to overwhelm? Do you just go with the flow? Whatever your day brings you, that's what you do. Do you even have principles to stand on? You can't be stand fast if you're not standing on nothing. So you got to stand on something first. What are those principles for you? And particularly and especially when it's a complex or difficult thing, can you still arise to the occasion and be the leader you need to preserve your life and the lives of others? Can you do it when you feel like it and even when you don't, especially when you don't feel like it? And all of this lends to and breeds consistency. And with enough consistency, you will have alignment. That's our final principle. Alignment is the state of agreement or cooperation among persons with a common cause or viewpoint. We're talking about identification. Do all areas of your life cooperate for the most part with who you said you would be and how you determine you want to show up in the world? That's what you're ultimately after. Identity means sameness. That is its original meaning of that word, to be the same. Alignment means to work in harmony. I'm looking the same. I'm sounding the same. I'm acting the same. I'm being the same. For the most part, that's a work in progress, right? And it can be a lifelong work, but you should be getting better at it as time goes on. So your quick life work is this. I want you to make a T-chart. I've given this life work before. We have some new viewers here, so I want to make sure that you have it as well. The bullet points, I want you to bullet point of what our coaches call a brain dump, okay? A brain dump. It's really just brainstorming. And I want you to write on the left side of the T-chart who I am. And I want you to write on the right side of the T-chart who I am not, okay? And after you compile these lists, I want you to size them up with your current life. And now I want you to see what needs to come and what needs to go. And Tony Robbins also has something called moving toward values and moving away from values. I don't have time to go into that now, but I do want to recommend 2 resources for you wholeheartedly. I need you to read, okay, because they are life-changing. One is Awaken the Giant Within. Let me put that in the camera. Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins, Dr. Tony Robbins. Please get this resource on your library, okay, on your shelf. Don't just get it on the electronic device. You need to go through. You need to go through this. It's a life resource. And next, if you are having challenges with your boundaries, don't know what it is, never had them, okay, and know that you need them, I want you to get this book by the name of Boundaries, and it is by Dr. Henry Cloud, okay? Dr. Henry Cloud. Listen, these are 2 life-changing resources. You know FireStarter only brings you the best, and I need you to get them. And I need you to work the system, okay, of identifying yourself, because there's nothing more pitiful and sad than a life undefined. So I ask you again, may I see your ID, please? This has been your Passion Talk for this evening, our January of 2021. I pray you got something out of that. Now I want you to do the work.